Hey everybody, welcome back to Horror Trans. My name is Stephanie Bree. I'm a transgender woman and I talk about all things horror. And today's horror icon is Sydney Prescott herself, the final girl of Final Girls. Laurie Strode can bow to the queen. And I'm sorry, but you all know how I feel about fucking Laurie Strode. Sydney Prescott, famously played by Neve Campbell, a very beautiful woman and very talented actress who is, I will say, the linchpin of this Scream franchise, is a character who is troubled at the very beginning, stalked throughout the first movie, and then rises to the occasion, overcomes her killer, as a good final girl does, and then transforms it in subsequent films to I would use the phrase that's overused, but badass. Absolutely. She is not bothered by these copycat killers. She's like, "Yeah, I killed the OG. What the fuck are you? You're beneath me." She is just a queen, a legend. Um Granted, she's usually up against a bunch of dipshits in a costume whose plan never makes a lick of sense. Um but she's always able to outsmart them, usually because they're stupid and have to take the mask off and reveal their plan right before she shoots them in the head, because she's smart enough to always shoot them in the head, and they're stupid because they're always stupid. But anyways, Sydney Prescott is my not my absolute favorite final girl. That would be Alice from Dream Master. She's the goddess among the final girls. But Sydney Prescott's the queen, and Laurie Strode is a fucking peasant who needs to be forgotten. And I don't even want to do a horror icon video on Laurie Strode because I know no one's gonna watch it because they know how I feel about her. Fucking Babysitter Murders. Fuck that fucking movie. I hate that fucking movie. I've made that very fucking clear. Which is the only thing that irritates me about Scream is it does make reference to that fucking movie, and that's the only thing that really irritates me about it. Is it's like, come on, guys, Jesus Christ, there are better fucking slasher movies to reference, especially when your whole trope is playing on the tropes of slasher movies. Why don't you reference one that actually has the tropes? I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I'm tired about bitching about Halloween. I just wish to God that movie would fucking go away. I'm so fucking over it. Don't taint my Sidney Prescott movies with your fucking rubbish. Pisses me off. Anyways, Prescott is an amazing character. In the first movie, we find out that it's all centered on her. The killers are responsible for her mother's death, which we later find out, retconned, had something to do with her long lost half brother, which we're just going to pretend like that movie didn't exist, for two reasons. One, we don't need a fucking convoluted soap opera storyline in our horror movies. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Also, they fucking kill off one of the great characters, Cotton, and you don't kill Cotton. I mean, for fuck's sake. God damn it. So Scream 3, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't exist. But also, I have another issue with Scream 3 because even though it does tackle uh, Sydney's trauma, I don't like the is it a ghost, is it not a ghost stuff in that movie, which does illustrate that Sydney is dealing with some shit because she's having a hard time deciphering what's real and what isn't, which is unfortunate for her as a character. Now, she does eventually find success. She writes a book that basically unpacks her trauma and tells other people who are victims of trauma how they can overcome their trauma. And it's a bestseller, and she finds success in that and comes back to her hometown once again to be stalked by a dipshit whose plan is stupid, and rises above it because that's what she does. Now, for whatever reason, behind the scenes, it had something to do with they wouldn't pay her money, but in story, they don't give us an explanation. But she's not in Scream 6, and at this point in time, Uh, it's not looking like Scream 7 is going to even happen. And if it does, it's definitely not looking like anyone's going to give a shit. Um, if Sydney isn't in Scream 7, there's no saving grace. That movie's just buried, done, forget about it, move on. And nobody can play Sydney Prescott. It's Nev Campbell or there is no movie. So don't even try to recast because you can't. Sydney Prescott is, as far as I'm concerned, one of the greatest final girls in slasher history, second only to Alice, who is my all-time favorite final girl, and nothing's ever gonna change that. Um, but I'll do a video on Alice one of these days. One of these days. Um, but yeah, Sidney Prescott, really fucking cool character, played by the amazing Nev Campbell, who not technically soap opera actress, but teen drama, which is basically a soap opera for kids. That's where she got her start. So she's in the family, I guess, which a lot of horror actors do play in soap operas because you got to pay the bills. Anyways, Sidney Prescott, amazing character. Nev Campbell, amazing actress. Scream, amazing slasher franchise. There you go. Stay cool.